the presentation today. If you have questions, feel free to add them in the chat or go ahead and unmute yourself. I think Fazal will be happy to answer questions during the presentation.
Yes, definitely. As a matter of fact, I think we will have a lot of time at the end where we can all have a discussion and anyone is free to ask any questions they may have.
Perfect.
So I think that might work better if I show everyone where the programs are and speak a little bit about the programs, and then the slides will be there. We can always go back if that's okay.
Perfect. Okay, you're set to go, Fazal.
Okay, thank you, Darren, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fazal Jamir. I'm academic advisor at Rosen College, and I'm also the international coordinator. I work with all the international students as well as I manage our study abroad program. I've been doing this since 2012, having joined Rosen in 2011. I also have a colleague that works with me, Miss Alexis Gates. I'm not sure if she was able to join. She had a lot of appointments today, so she may join us in between, but between the two of us, if you need any help or you have any questions in the application process, you are very free to reach out to us. Our contact information you will see later on in one of the slides. So please do that. And if COVID clears up, then I'll be more than happy to see you guys on campus. I usually let my study abroad students come in at any time and I talk to them. I see Elvis is there. You can ask Elvis because he's been in the process for the last batch of students. Okay, first of all, happy International Education Week. We had a really fun day yesterday. Every year we do the Rosen International Day. So we had that yesterday and it was a really great event. So I will go right now and just talk to you about why people study abroad real quick. I mean, it's there that you can read, but these are some of the comments that I get from students, and over the years I realized that these are all really great benefits from study abroad. So if you look at them, I'm sure you can identify with most of them. Some of you might have traveled before and you know what it is to be in a different place with different language and different food, etc. Okay, so these are, some of the reasons, and I usually have a lot of conversation with my students when they return, and these are some of the typical comments that I would usually get from them. And I like, look at the first one, life-changing experience and the most fulfilling thing I've done. I've learned so much about the culture, language, and myself in the past few months. I've learned life lessons that are fundamental for my future growth and maturity in ways that I probably never realized. And I like the last one a lot. The world would be a better place if everyone could study abroad. So it's really a great experience to be away. You will realize that it doesn't matter how much you know about somewhere or people when you go there are always differences that are observable, and you can feel the difference and and enjoy the difference. So right now I've listed 22 programs, but actually one of them is in the makings right now. Starting a program calls for a lot of paperwork, signing of contracts and so on. So there's one in Japan that's being looked into right now, but this is the first page only. So this is pretty much Europe we're looking at here. These are the programs we have in Europe. In the UK, we have the University of Surrey in Guildford. I know Surrey is just half an hour away from London itself by train. They have what they call the underground at Surrey. Bournemouth is it's like an hour and a half from London. You know, London is like the central point. That's where you have to go in most cases to join a train to get to different parts of the UK. I did the Bournemouth trip up to last year in June. I was there, and it's really great place. Bournemouth is at the right on the coast of the English Channel. So if you go to Bournemouth, you will pretty much be on the beach there by the pier and so on. And it's all the way in the south of England. Austria, we have 4 programs you can see there. Module University in Austria. I'm sorry, I took out the wrong word here, but this is in Vienna, which is the capital of Austria. Very well known for for history. There's a lot of history there in Vienna. We have Innsbruck in Management Center in Innsbruck. That's in Innsbruck itself. Where the Alps run through. A lot of skiing, a lot of ski resorts are there. If you like skiing, that's the place to go to. And then we have Salzburg, very beautiful city. I don't know, and I apologize. These are the 3 we have in Austria. And then this Breda University is in the Dutch Netherlands. I'm sorry, I just changed this morning and I didn't put the heading here, but this is in the Dutch Netherlands. I had a student there last spring. So then we moved to Italy. Is pretty much a new program for us, but I had a student last year and then the pandemic came and she spent about 3 months and then everything went online and then she left, but she still had a great experience. It's a great university. We also have a dual degree master's program with them. So we have students from there every semester at Rosen College. As a matter of fact, I was helping 2 of them last week to get into housing here for the spring semester. France is a brand new program, Paul Bocuse University. It's really for restaurant management majors. They have a lot of food classes there, deal a lot with cuisine. They're very, very popular. Dr. Diego Bofkin, who is also from France, he's one of our professors. He was instrumental in setting up this program, and it's a great program. No one has gone there as yet because this was only finalized late last year, so we weren't able to mobilize any students to go there. Lyon is like in the southeast of France, right? And then now we also have in Portugal, it's also a brand new program that was signed sometime early last year. And I have 1 student scheduled to go there in the spring of 2021. Hopefully that's going to happen with all that's going on. And then you have a program in Ireland, the Dublin Institute of Technology. And you may want to talk a little bit more with Darren about this because I've had, not in spring of 2020, in spring of 2019, I've had 3 students all ready to go there, but their housing was not in order. Whatever housing was available was very, very expensive. So unfortunately, the students backed out at that point in time. I'm not sure if there's been any developments in the housing, but Darren may be the best person to reach out to in terms of that. I'll have a meeting with her before the end of the semester to see, what's going on with that. It's a very beautiful place. A lot of students are aspiring to go there.
Zal, I have a student question about Hong Kong. If you're going to,
yes, it's there. It's there. I have the next slide up, so if you can see, I have Hong Kong under China. Hong Kong is actually under China, but let's talk about Japan first, where we have 3 universities already. I've had students gone to Rikyo University in Tokyo. I've had students who could not have gone to Yamaguchi as planned. It was a last moment. They canceled the programs in spring of this year. So two of my students, three as a matter of fact, of my students who were scheduled to go to Yamaguchi, were disappointed because of the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Kansai Gaida University was signed early, very early last year, and for some reason, students had gravitated to go to Yamaguchi and Rikyo. No one went there, but it's a great university. It's a large university in Hirakata. It's in Osaka, and Kindai University is the one that's being worked on right now. Also in Osaka, maybe in a different region of Osaka, but um, Osaka is a large metropolitan city, and our students tend to want to go to those type of areas. Kindai University is a great university. They have a great variety of classes. I think one of our students on here right now, Mr. Elvis, has been looking at Kindai University, so we can have him, give us a few pointers because it's still in process so far with the UCF Global Office and the representatives at Kindai University. South Korea, Sejong University, I've sent students there in 3 past semesters. One of the good things about Sejong University is that you can also attend in the fall, right? You can attend in the fall because their spring semester does not lap over into their fall semester does not lap over into our spring semester. Unlike the European programs, it's hard to go to those European programs in the fall because their fall ends in our spring, in a lot of cases until like mid or late February. So we've been sending students to Europe mostly in the spring of the academic year. So South Korea, it's the housing is very cheap, food is also very cheap. So when you look at the cost there, it's very affordable. Um, and that's in the capital city of Seoul. We do have a few professors, maybe about 4 or 5 professors who at Rosen College who are from South Korea. They would often join if there's a group of students to talk about it. As well as Japan, we have Dr. Hara. He's always asking me if I have a group of students. He's willing to talk to them, to give them hints, and to advise them how to go about, their by themselves when they're in Japan. So then we have China. We have Hong Kong Polytechnic University, great university. One of the things I really like about Hong Kong Polytechnic is that they are pretty much aligned with the Rosen College semesters. We start like the same time, end like the same time. The grading is the same, and it has been a great destination. It has been a very competitive program in the past to get into. I've had to place students in alternate programs because there's usually not enough spots for everyone who wants to go there. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, you might have seen that there were a lot of problems, a lot of demonstrations, and so on. I think things are beginning to quiet down, from I think the beginning of this month. But I wouldn't mind taking that question now. Um, if you want to go ahead and ask me that question.
No, you already answered the question. She just was wanting to know if we were going to accept students to Hong Kong.
Okay, good. I was just going to go into the chat, but that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. Now, Fudan University is in Shanghai. Shanghai is a that's like the business hub, of China. Very, very busy place. I've had students who came here as international students. So, Shanghai they always come in and talk about the city and advise students. I think they've mostly graduated. I'm not sure if I will get anyone there in spring of 2021, but I'll check and see. But Fudan University is a great university. In China, Rosen College only partners with the best universities, really universities that are up there. We go for the maybe 1 to 5 universities in China. So all these universities you see here are top universities in China. Um, we have sent students to Fudan twice, and Sun Yat-sen University, we never sent students. We had students scheduled for Fudan University, Zhejiang University, as well as Beijing in last spring, but that did not happen because of COVID virus again. So a great university. Zhejiang University, some of the students were very excited to go there. They are very noted for innovation. They do a lot of research and come up with a lot of new things. They have a very fast train in China now, like the bullet train. So I've had one student who actually was studying at Fudan. She traveled to Hangzhou and she walked around Zhejiang University, researched it, and so on. So that's a great university. Beijing International Studies University is, we had some students here last fall from this university, and it's a great university also. They are very research oriented, BISU. You will find that the universities in China and South Korea going there, the cost of living and so on is a little less there. Housing and so on is not that expensive. In Hong Kong, housing has proven to be a little bit more expensive than some of the other regions of China. So Australia, we have 2 great universities. Griffith University has been one of the oldest partners we've had. It's in the Gold Coast, right next to Brisbane area, close to Sydney. It's on the coast. They have great courses in event management. I've had students going there in the past just because of the sustainability courses that they have. We don't offer those kind of courses here at Rosen College, to do with the environment and so on. Actually, this one student, his father owns a very fancy type of a resort in Costa Rica, and he wanted to open his own business also. So the sustainability courses and so on are great for him, but they're also great in event management, tourism, and even restaurant management. Very strong university. They're Griffith University. University of Canberra, known as UC, is located in Canberra, and that university, Canberra is the capital of Australia. It's not a great city as where Griffith is, but students would say that it's very affordable and easy to travel around in Australia. I've had students who took like these small planes and flying over to like New Zealand for $45. Some students went as far as Papua New Guinea. And then they travel around to the Great Barrier Reef and the different states within Australia, the Blue Mountains and so on. They would visit. There's a big national park there, and a lot of zoos and wildlife, so activities in Australia. So pretty much those are the programs in a nutshell. And I think I'll pause here, and if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to to go ahead and answer some questions. So you're on. If you just check to see if you make sure you're not muted, and we can.
At the end, if we have time, I'm going to show them on the website how they can search for programs and just apply.
Okay.
asking for a link to the program. So I'm gonna.
Okay, okay. Fantastic. So the application process, Darren, do you want me to spend some time on this? Yes, it's right here pretty much. Very straightforward, online and study abroad.ucf.edu. You will need a recommendation, preferably from a Rosen College professor, if not some other professor. If you're just joining Rosen College and that's difficult for you, just speak with me and we'll work something out, okay? I don't want to make that a big deal if you're just coming into the college. But my advice to all students are once you get on board in Rosen College, try to get to know your professors. Don't be scared. They are there to meet with you and to help you. They are professionals from the industry, you know, and I know for a fact because I teach at UCF also that sometimes students are hung up. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to have conversation with the professors, but they're pretty much there waiting for you to, you know, come and have a conversation. So once you get to know your professors at the end, you will, you know, you'll be okay asking them for a reference, and all of them are very, very supportive of our international efforts. When the study abroad programs one of the biggest international effort we have at Rosen College. So that's why it's good. Like Professor Deb and so on, they're very, very supportive. Dr. David Kuhn, I can name so many of them, you know, very helpful in giving references for this purpose. I usually ask for a resume. It's good to have that. And an essay, the essay is pretty straightforward, 500 words, you know, explaining, you know, why you want to study abroad, you know, how it's going to benefit you, you know, and why you think you are a good candidate. If you have any questions on that, you can, you know, you can contact me. Scholarships available on the Study Abroad website, right where the application is. On that same portal, there is a scholarship tab, so you can explore that. It's gonna recommend to you to go to A2O, which is our UCF financial aid website. On A2O, you will fill out a form, and it's gonna pop up some possible scholarships for you. I will have a big Zoom session for all study abroad applicants and prospective applicants. Looks like it will either be early or late February. I'm just watching what's happening with the pandemic, and or maybe we can even have it on campus, a live session in which the financial aid will send a representative to talk specifically about scholarships, okay? But you're also free to do internet search. Go and Google it and see if there's anything, you know, that you can apply for, you know. Scholarships usually require a good essay to back you up. All of them do. And you can write one essay and then you just tweak it for, you know, the other scholarships. Any person who deals with scholarship will tell you that a lot of students do not get scholarships simply because they don't apply, okay? So it's good to take a chance, apply and to several places. UCF Global also has a scholarship that's organized and by Darren's office. So watch out for the emails when that goes out. It should be popping up also right here on the Study Abroad website when that scholarship is available. Okay. And I'm happy to announce that we also have Rosen College scholarships. And it's going to be, there are going to be scholarships for fall of 2020 and also for spring of 2022 because nothing was awarded for this fall. No students went, and the amount of students going to in the spring of 2021 is yet to be determined because of the situation now. We're seeing, you know, a lot of programs are withdrawing, and a lot of students are also, you know, being forced to withdraw because of what's happening.
Giselle, you have a question.
Yes.
It says, if I apply to more than one program as I planned on doing, is it possible to request a recommendation for 2 applications from the same teacher?
No, I just need one reference for the entire application process, please. I just need one reference. And as a matter of fact, I when you do more than one application, it poses some problems for me as well as Darren. In each application, you will apply to that your first choice, the program you really want to go to. That's the one you're going to apply to. And then within that same application, it's going to ask you to list 2 more alternate program as options in order of priority. And that works well. Okay, so you don't have to do 2 applications. You do just one essay and you submit one reference and one resume. It's going to go to the same selection people that are going to do it, right? Our Rosen College International Studies Committee, right? So you don't have to do that, please. Okay. So much for the Rosen Scholarship. Now on the Gilman Scholarship, and I must say that for the Rosen Scholarship, as well as the Gilman Scholarship, they are needs-based scholarship. And this means that you must be a recipient of FAFSA, Pell Grant, in order to get these scholarships. The Gilman Scholarship is a great scholarship. The least I've seen a student, one of my students gotten from the Gilman Scholarship is $2,500. The most I've seen, the highest I've seen is $5,500. One student. One student got that after she went to Vienna in the spring. I think it was in 2018 she went, and she was taking her son and she was homeschooling her son. So, she got that amount. But usually the typical amount I see students get is $3,000. Okay, and I encourage you, if you're going to apply for the Gilman Scholarship, talk to me. I've helped a lot of students because I have a couple of sample essays that students did, and that got the scholarship, and I can help you with that. The way you represent your achievements and your plans and so on, they're looking at that. So if you're entitled to apply for the Gilman Scholarship, please go ahead and apply. I've seen, I think, three of my students so far who were supposed to go in this coming spring got the Gilman Scholarship, and one actually got it for the fall of this year, but she couldn't utilize it because her program was canceled. She was supposed to go to the Griffith University in the fall. Okay, I don't think I mentioned that, but Griffith also, their fall program is also doable, right? So it's pretty much Australian programs and the Sejong University in South Korea. Those are the only 2 fall programs that we can send students to because of the way the semester starts and ends. Okay. General information on the website. Darren usually does a great job with posting the estimated cost sheets that are available for each program. The UCF tuition is as usual, and that's very important. You are not paying any tuition abroad. You're paying tuition to UCF for the semester you're going to be abroad. I will be enrolling you for 4 generic study abroad courses in the semester you're going to go. So however you pay your tuition, whether it's by FAFSA or Bright Futures or what's the other one, or prepaid, you pay your tuition, or by scholarship, it's the same thing. That's how you pay your tuition, right? We'll talk about the credit transfer, I think, in the next slide. But if you don't have a passport, you should be applying. You should go ahead and apply for one now. It's essential because you will need a visa. And even in countries where you can land without a visa, you will still have to get a visa because you will be staying more than 3 months. And if you overstay that 3 months, then you will be breaking the laws of the country. So you want to have your passport ready, and so that you can get your visa when the time is up. In some cases, you can land in the country and then go and get the visa, but you'll have to go outside of the country, and then you probably don't want to do that, around this time, you know. The housing cost is very much different. That, uh, usually Darren will help you, myself and Darren look into that at the time. And the host institution expenses, usually not anything much. Maybe there may be a small fee at application, Um, that's not anything to really worry about. And I have some more details about all of this as we go down. But this is the expense sheet that you will see for most programs. Most of our programs are listed as between $10,000 to $12,000. The Australian programs are a little more because the flight is usually very expensive. That's a very long flight, and it's very expensive. I must say though that things like the flight and the other incidentals and the meals and local transportation expenses, I found them to be a little on the high side. But it's I'm happy UCF Global does that, but it's better to be more prepared. Get yourself more prepared. So, and even the flight, I've seen students pay as much as, this is Rikio University, um, like the Australian one is sometimes quoted as like 1,700, and I've seen students pay like $1,000. So it's usually on the high side. The usual UCF Global Administration fees, 350. You will pay that. It's usually posted in the spring semester that you're going to go, or whatever semester you're going to be going. That's when it's usually posted for. And you can see the flight here. So if you have a passport, you can strike out all of these, all these fees here. The visa, I don't know why there's no fee here. Maybe Darren, I don't think this is correct. Is this an old one? But usually there's a visa fee for most countries. It's usually not that high. And so I think there's like maybe about $300 to most, $350. All right. And for one semester in Japan, 2,900. I mean, that's cheaper than UCF. Am I correct? Yeah, that's cheaper than UCF. And then you have the meals, local transportation, and so on. So, um, but one thing I'd like to show you, and it's some math that I did here to show students, because this is one of the biggest and most asked questions I have. How affordable is study abroad? And I decided to do this slide, just to show you that. When you take out the UCF tuition, you're left with pretty much, on the housing, you're left with pretty much half of, you know, the entire cost that you're seeing here. And this is the way, I explain to students that this is the way you want to show your parents this, that, hey, I'm already paying tuition, and if you're paying housing, then that's half the way. So the big money that you're gonna have to dive into your pocket for will be the flight. See, the flight here. And then after that, you can control the rest depending on what lifestyle you're going to live when you're there, how much you're going to travel, and things like that. But if you look at it this way, study abroad it's really, really affordable. It's really practical then. So I hope you can look at this slide, and there's a big message here. And if you should get a scholarship or two, then that makes it even better, especially for those students who are FAFSA recipients of Pell Grant. So coursework, all coursework must be approved by Rosen College. Usually when we set out when we set up a program, we do a course matching. I usually do all that within my department, myself and my director. We get them approved, but things change all the time. So what's offered in one semester may not be there in the next semester. All courses are taught in English. We don't send students anywhere that cannot teach in English, and that's one of the primary reasons why we don't have programs like in Spain or in Switzerland. Although we're working on that right now. So you'll be doing 12 U.S. credit hours of hospitality coursework when you go abroad, and they will apply towards your restricted hospitality electives, right? You will earn four out of the 5 classes needed for your restricted electives. Entertainment management majors, it's 4, right? And that's the beauty about our program. We don't match classes, like class for class that, okay, the content on the course description here and the content of the course description abroad, we don't do that. All we ask is that you do not take introductory courses when you're there, because you will be a junior. You have to be a junior at the end of the semester before you fly. You must be a junior. That's our rule. And by that time, you will be taking senior level classes. At UCF, a senior level class means a class that's 3,000 and above, like let's say HFT 3603, legal environment, or HFT 3700, tourism management. Those are not foundation classes. If the classes are foundation, then they will match our classes that are like 2,000, 1,000 level, and your classes must, they must apply to they can apply to any of your Rosen College major, So if you're an entertainment management major and you go abroad, and that school does not have a bundle of entertainment management classes or does not have any entertainment classes for that matter, but they may have event management classes, that's fine. They may have tourism, that's fine, You can take those classes and they will still come back as your restricted elective. So hospitality industry is a service industry. It's a people-driven industry. So it's not like the technical colleges like engineering or even business where, certain core classes are like real key, You do your core classes here with us, but for the restricted electives, you're free to choose. It's not all about the academics. It's about, your experience there. You're going to be seeing the hospitality management, the level of work that they do, their style, their principles. What are the differences? That's the kind of stuff that you will get to see. So you will do that when you go those equivalent of 4 classes, and I'll show you the difference with the UK programs in terms of the transfer credits. Okay, so in most cases, you will be filling up a learning agreement that's usually provided by the university abroad. They give you the form to list some courses that you've chosen for that semester at their institution, and they must not be introductory courses. They must be full-time there as well as full-time at UCF, which is 4 courses. And those courses must be approved by me. I sign off on them, approving the courses for you to take, right? And you will list more than the amount just in case classes are full. You will list them in order of priority, okay? So for the transfer credits, they will issue a transcript to you as well as to Darren and myself. And I will use those grades and I will attach them to the UCF, the courses that you are enrolled for at UCF. And then I will make a submission to the UCF registrar's office. In the UK, you will have to do 24 ECTS because it's a 2-to-1 ratio. That's going to be 12 US credits here. Okay, and the grade conversion, I use mostly the WES system, which I have here. So I compare it and I, assign grades to your UCF classes and I submit them.
Rizal, there's a question from a
Yes.
student. He's asking, if I am a transfer student with an AA, can I apply? That's one. And am I considered a junior once I transfer?
Well, if you have an AA degree and you transfer, you are going to be a junior, so you will be fine. And by the time you're ready to go, I'm sure you would have taken 3 or 4 hospitality classes, right? And you can talk to me more about that. I think you'll be fine, but you're already a junior. There's nothing stopping you from applying, okay? So enrollment, I mentioned all of these before. 4 classes at UCF, tuition paid to UCF, not abroad. The scholarships, I mentioned those, how they're paid, FAFSA, Bright Futures, prepaid, student loan scholarships, right? Housing, if you are in a bona fide UCF housing, they will freeze that for a semester, no fees, no charge, and when you come back, you just transition back into it. We just have to be careful because sometimes you think it's UCF housing and it's really not, but myself and Darren can usually guide you on that. Okay. Expectations, you'll be there representing our country, our university, our college. So we always expect, your same behavior as if you're here, and you're abroad, yes, but it's not like a vacation. You've got to keep up with your work, and classes may be different there. The way the learning environment may be different, the way they present their classes, will be different. And when we put you in contact with the students who've been there before, they're the best people to advise you on that. Darren is very good on that, ensuring the emails or I usually have students come in to my information sessions and spend the whole time and answer questions about the university, they've been to in terms of courses, classes, housing, meals, and all that kind of stuff. All right, your attendance and so on will have to be up to date. All right, and you must give your studies priority. Okay, and when you're there also, I'll be supporting you with advising you for your future semesters, helping you with enrollment and all that type of stuff. Now that we have WhatsApp and Zoom, it's very easy. I've been talking to students, or we can, do phone calls or emails, but I help you plan your classes and enroll you if you have any difficulties whilst you're abroad. Okay, so that's my contact information here. You want to take a screenshot or take your phone and take a shot of it. This is Darren's, Alexis, her contact information is here. She, the two of us, we work together on study abroad programs. Let's have some pictures to flash real quick and then we will have some time. This was in Australia. Riley Park National Park. They have a lot of national parks in Australia. This was in Hong Kong. Innsbruck, Austria. I told you about the mountains. Vienna, Austria. Very historic, very scenic. And this is in Bournemouth. Yeah, this is the pier. This pier is about maybe not even 10 minutes from the university. Very, very famous area. The beaches here. This is actually the English Channel. Sometimes on the good day, you can see France over on the other side because France is between, the English Channel runs in between the two. It's a very beautiful place. Famous dish here, somewhere along here, is Harry Ramsden, very, very famous for their fish and chips. That's what they call it, fish and chips. This was in China when Nanette went there, and anyone who wants to go to Shanghai or China, I can have you in contact with Nanette. She's going to give you a lot of information. This is also her in This is a famous spot over here that's called the Bund in Shanghai. Showed you that. This is in South Korea. South Korea also. So that's about it. So I'm open if we have some time.
So
If anyone
Fasel,
has
I
any
have
questions.
a student that's asking about, she's asking about Florence School of Arts, but you didn't mention much about partner programs. So I don't know if you want.
Yes, Florence School of Arts. It's a great university. Those are private. Those are what we call the provider programs. They are not my programs, but our students have been going there. They offer some very great classes. The process is a little different. You will have to every semester get a hold of their course offerings and sit down with me and see which courses might be transferable, and then I will recommend to you some courses that you will petition. You will fill out a petition. You've got to get the syllabus, put them together, and for each class, and then we send to the department chair. It's up to them. I've seen a lot of classes being approved and some classes not approved. But usually you can very easily get 4 classes in any one semester to go to FUA. I think they had a session yesterday morning. There's someone who was talking about their program, but it's a great program, and it's just that the process is different. All I do with you is they help you to get the courses transfer and to approve what's called a transiency form. That's all I do with you. I know nothing about costs and housing and so on. Oliver McSorley, director at UCF Global, he might be able to give you more information on that program.
Fazelle, can you unshare your screen for a second? I want to bring up our website.
Yeah, sure. Let me get
So
back.
there's a question about application deadline. So if you're applying, first let me go back. There are different types of study abroad programs, and
Right.
today for Fazal was exchange programs. So he focused on that and the application information. He showed you the program costs and all of that information. The partner program is a third party study abroad opportunity. It's not the same as an exchange. So the format is different. I want to make sure you understand that because they're asking for how many students can go there. So the application deadline for each of the program for our office is on the website as well. I'll show you where you can go and look for that. Start here. And also, before the end of the year, I will provide Fazelle a number of how many students he can accept for the fall 2021 and spring 2022. But I want to let you understand that because of COVID right now, a lot of things have been delayed. So some of those information might not be up, but make sure that you apply because it is limited in offerings per program. So I'm going to go and study abroad website, studyabroad@ucf.edu. Can you see my website, Fazelle, or no?
Yes, yes, I'm seeing your screen.
Okay, perfect. So you'll go to programs on the side. I also want to point out, we have a lot of documents on travel abroad here. Hopefully the screen is working. Packet list, travel tips, pre-departure checklist. So there's a lot of information here. But if you're looking to see what programs are available, you go to programs. Hopefully this works. Search.
It's working.
And in your,
Lost you.
I lost me.
Yeah, I lost you there a little.
Okay, hopefully it's up again.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so program, simple search. And here you can actually search by country, term. But generally, I just go ahead and type in hospitality because I want to look at all the programs. And hopefully you're seeing this. So those little stars will tell you it's an exchange. And you can see, keep going on. There's a lot of programs here. So if you look at the first one in France, which is one of our new programs, but we're very excited about it. It will roll up. Yep.
Wow.
So it's going to show, there's little tabs here for you to review. There's location information, application process information, has Fazell information here, program costs, right here as well too. Additional information. So if we have any additional, the website, global, anything we have that's additional, we'll put it here for you to review. If you click on the apply now button, hope you can see all this. And sometimes, oh, it's gonna want you to log in, but there's where you can select the semester that you wanna go abroad. And so this one is going to be a fall and spring. And if you see the application deadlines, these are the application deadlines right now. And that's just for the study abroad application for our office. There's additional deadlines that we'll send out to you. So I hope that's helpful in kind of navigating our website. I'll share and see if we have questions. So yes, we are recording this session. It's gonna be posted on our YouTube channel and it should be up next week. So you will be able to have access to that. Any other questions from the students? So application for the fall 2021 semester is available right now, and the application for spring 2022 will be available November 23rd. I want to say that's next week, Monday or Tuesday. So it'll be available. We're doing an update to the software, so we're having to fix a few things, but the new student view is actually going to be a lot easier for you to navigate. So we are hoping to have everything modified up by next week. So question is, so there's only one application for every program? Fazell, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, that's correct. You only need to apply to one program, and within that application, you will get the opportunity to list 2 more alternate programs. So you let in priority. So the one you apply to will be your first priority. And then you will list the second one, that's your second priority, and then your third. Okay? And we have a lot of space. We have a lot of programs now. So there's a lot of spots for students. So if you're serious to study abroad, it's highly likely that you will get a spot. You know, for me, usually, you know, where I go, it's not a big deal. I know a lot of students gravitate towards Europe because it's easy to travel around there. But what I found that it's so easy to go to Europe that you can pretty much do that anytime. You know, but how about the Asian, you know, places? It's likely that one of your vacations might be in Europe at some time, you know, than in those places. So, you know, you can take your time. Look, I would advise, look at the programs, research them, talk to people, to students who've been there, you know, and then you can make your decision. And if you apply, you know, that's not the end of it. If you want to change anything, myself and Darren, we can work with you on that.
Absolutely. And I just want to let you know, we had a student panel yesterday, and we had students who did programs in South Korea and in Japan. And I think next week when we post the recording, you should listen to that because they had an awesome experience, even though they went to a country that doesn't necessarily speak English a lot because it's not, where he was in Japan, he didn't have a lot of fluent English speakers, but still had a great experience. So don't be discouraged because you're going to a country that the native language is not English. The mode of instructions in the classroom is in English. You're going to meet a lot of international students, not just students from America, a lot of blending of international students. It's a great experience. So listen to the student panel that we have up next week as well, because there's a lot of information from the students. And in that student panel, we had students, Janelli from Austria, Samantha was Australia.
Is it Samantha? Oh, yeah, Samantha Bonbon, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she was in Canberra. Yeah, so she had a great time. She stayed right through the pandemic. I mean, right through the semester.
Yes. So the panel was yesterday, and we'll put it up next week as part of the recording session as well.
Awesome. I'll take a look also. And usually when you go abroad, they love to see when you're interested in learning their language, you know. They open up more to you. And if you go abroad, you can take an extra language class, no cost. Okay, it's just that it doesn't transfer back, you know, for your restricted electives. But they're usually 1 credit or 2 credits, you know. These are foundation classes. You're free to do that.
Yes, a
And
lot
I've
of
had students do that a lot.
yeah, a lot of our programs will offer like intensive Italian, intensive German, intensive Spanish, because they want you to, you know, able to operate outside of the school, outside of the university environment. So they'll offer that for you even before orientation. So those are things you want to look at when we send out the nomination information. Any
Okay.
questions you may have or we may not have answered, you can just go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask the question because we have 2 more minutes.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your voices. It's like everyone is fine. Elvis, what did you find in Kendai University?
Well, I went looking for some information, so I found a good number of things. I found a brochure for the school that gave an idea of housing costs in some classes and some other information about the school as well.
Okay,
So, for
fantastic.
example, they estimated housing to be around 270,000 yen, which
Did you do your conversion?
from that conversion, it seemed like housing could range between 2,200 to 2,600.
Per semester? So that isn't bad, is it?
No, I don't think that's bad at all.
That's not bad at all. South Korea, they paid like 800, you know,
Oh,
for
really?
housing for the entire semester.
That's a pretty good
Young
price.
University, yeah.
Yeah, so it's so John really has a great option for housing.
Yes, the students had a great experience
Absolutely.
in that university as well as in Rikyu. Yeah, it was good.
So it is 2:59, so I want to wrap up this session. Frizzell, do you want to add your email address in here, or do you want me to add
Yeah,
it in case the students have additional questions that you may not have thought of right now? He's going to add his information. And we're happy to answer any questions you may have. I'm on the website, meet our team. Like I said, we have different types of study abroad opportunities, so I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about which program, any questions you have about different programs you want to pursue. So let us know. We're here for you, both myself and Frizzell. But we want to thank you so much for coming to the session today. And of course, you know, we're here for you. Talk about the program with your parents. One thing I want to encourage you, you know, make sure you have the support about studying abroad. So
exactly. Thank you for putting this up together, Darren, and thanks to everyone. I look forward to see you guys on campus.
all right.
Okay.
Have a great day. Have a great week.
Okay, you too. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Sometime in the future. Take care.